Welcome to Phantasialand, where we're here for our first ever investigation of this gorgeous theme park. In day one of this case, we're going to be checking out loads of rides, including Black Mamba, Taron and F.L.Y. So hit like, hit subscribe and join us as we investigate. So we are finally here at Phantasialand, which so far, very beautifully themed fantasy gorgeousness. Very much pleased to be here. I might not seem it, I'm very tired. However, we've just done Winja's Force, which is one of the 2 spinning coasters by Mauer, in this crazy tower building with lovely loads of natural light coming through. Really nice layout. I did knock my hand on something above, which is quite surprising. Obviously, you're supposed to keep your hands inside the vehicle, but still, that's why there's clearance checks, isn't there? And yeah, odd that I knocked it. However, it's nice that there's an indoor coaster, as the rain was a bit grim. It's a bit grey at the moment, which isn't fun. But we're going to come back and do the other one later on. We've got a whole gang here today on this trip. It's a 2-day special in Brühl, or wherever we are, somewhere in Germany. But yeah, very excited to crack on and see what's more. So let's get the investigation continuing. First time on F.L.Y, Detective Clements.
Yeah.
How on earth did you find that then?
I really like that. I've always been a fan of like Galactica, and I think there's one called Saw at Disney, and the bit at the front of that was really good. Felt like I was going to hit everything. The transition bit at the start, that were alright, and the launches were different.
Yeah, we were just saying off camera, the way it transitioned your seats into that first sort of launch is really great. Got the theme in the station, the queue line that wraps around the whole area was stunning. I wasn't like that tight in my seat, so I got like bits of airtime in the, like pops of airtime in the second half.
Yeah.
It was all really superb. I can't, it's one of those that I want to ride more to see where I'd rank it, but it's definitely a very well themed, full on experience package extravaganza, as we say.
It just reminds me of Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, that kind of like
steampunk.
Yeah, like Sherlock's not steampunk, is it? It's more Victorian, but I guess that is steampunk, isn't it? It's Victorian with steam, unsurprisingly. This area is stunning. It's really good. There's like theming in places where it's like it doesn't need to be theming, but there is.
Or Fable, really. Yeah,
Fable.
Fable, yeah.
Does it have steampunk bits to it?
Yeah.
I had no idea. Yeah.
I was saying Bioshock Infinite, wasn't it?
Here she is.
Hello. That's very Bioshock Infinite vibes as well. Like that's quite steampunky in some ways.
Yeah, definitely that third one, as you said. Like it's that sort of cross between sort of different things. What's the word? Not genre.
Era.
No.
I would say so, because there's bits from like the Victorian era in there, and stuff from like the 1920s.
Yeah, I guess I'd say era like that. Yeah. I see what you mean.
Hagrid's for me.
Oh, start again. Sorry.
It's on par with Hagrid's.
Yeah, it is. I want to say it's up there for me, but I'm getting to that point now where I'm doing so many that I'm like, what goes where? And it's difficult to choose.
Yeah.
I mean, Detective Cookson, the whole gang's here. Where would you put that then?
I don't know, because before we got on, Becca had asked like what my top 5 was, and I wouldn't have thought this was anywhere up there close. But it is very good, it's very fun. Like it's a solid ride, the launches are good. Yeah, it's just a great ride. It's hard. I think some coasters, they're not like rankable by number, but like anyone would have a good time on this kind of thing.
I said that recently. I don't know if it was on camera or not, so I don't know if I have the receipts per se, but it's somewhat hard sometimes to rank coasters, because how am I supposed to compare this to Taron, like an Intamin Blitz? Like they're both different experiences. I guess as an overall experience you could rank it, but in terms of the actual coaster, it's different. So I kind of like to go with, did I enjoy it, did I have fun, experience as a whole, as opposed to the coaster itself. However, I did get like pops of airtime on that. I wasn't like stapled in at all. Were you like that then?
Yeah, a little bit. I think it's definitely a great front ride as well. That was good.
We thought it would be quicker. It was probably 2 trains behind what we would have been, but the front row and the near misses was ridiculous. I don't think there's better near misses than that. Like some of these bank turns like above you were crazy. There he goes again. Like, that was just wild, yeah. Really enjoyed that. Worth mentioning as well that we are here on a Saturday, the first Saturday in August, so yes, it is warm. The sun's come out now, it was cloudy when we arrived, but it is busy. We knew it'd be busy, but we got very cheap tickets months ago, so worth coming over. However, everything's gonna be long today. Then again, we do have 2 days to get everything done, which is good. But yeah, that was like, what, 90 minutes? So, we weren't expecting anything different, but I don't know where we're going. I don't know where we're going. Ah. Yeah, point is, it's busy. We'll be all right, hopefully. Stopped off in this little Mexico area for dinner. Myself, Becca, and Josh had Mexican burrito wrappy kind of things. Henry had focaccia, which I also heard whilst I was queuing for mine that it's the best theme park food ever. So thanks Coaster Talk for being a little bit too late on that one, but still, day 2 tomorrow, so there's a chance to get it. This was all right, my little Mexican thing. So it was 13 euros-ish, something like that. Yeah, for a meal. So that's the wrap, nachos, a choice of sauce, barbecue as always, and a Coca-Cola. So it was decent enough food actually. Price-wise, I think that's all right. I mean, I feel like I paid more and gotten not as good of a meal. So yeah, it was all right. There's some really good churros we saw as well actually, which looked fantastic. So I might fill up on them later when I'm crashing a bit. I need a extra sugar bump. But it's quite nice here with the chappers down below us. You can hear the regular crash of the boat. I thought I was going to time really well. Oh well, yeah, it's nice around here. Very busy as we said, but thankfully we did get a table for the 5 of us. There we go. I don't know if you heard that, but very splashy.
Got a nice outdoor facade. That looks smart.
It does, and inside was a bit, it was odd, wasn't it? It was like Asian culture meets Disney haunted house. To the point where they haunted mansion, where they literally ripped off scenes like the dancing ghosts in the ballroom, the hitchhiker's ghosts who jump under your cart, and some other bits I can't remember now. And it was an interesting one, very long.
Very, very long.
The longest in the world, perhaps.
Well, the app says Europe, maybe the world. Yeah, it feels dated. Feels like it could do with a bit of some refresh.
Definitely. It was a bit, it was a bit odd.
Not scary, just a bit weird. I mean, it's walk-on, so on a day like this where everything else is very busy, it's nice that there's still something you can walk onto. But I think it needs a bit more TLC and a bit of a refresh.
Which is why we did it really, because then it's only 10 minutes to 6 minutes off the box. I mean, as I said before, it's very busy. I mean, look at that. Hex is still the best to become a madhouse.
I think that's underrated. Pre-show, yeah, it's aged, but it's still bliss.
But Hex is better.
Yeah, Hex is better.
I'm not saying that's over or underrated. I'm just saying Hex is better, and I can't wait for it to open.
I did quite like on the windows, on the outer bit, they had like wind sort of flame effects. So
I did notice that. Yeah.
Or LEDs, like physical effects. We like them.
We do like them. Yes, we like them. But Hex is still better, and it's really busy here. I don't know if I've said.
Josh is pretending he's a Vekoma madhouse.
He's been very silly behind the camera. Thanks, mate. A new B&M invert onto the list, that is Black Mamba, and like with F.L.Y, I think the near misses really elevated that ride. What do you reckon? You've done it before, so what do you think?
Yeah, which seat were you in? The far right?
Far right,
yeah,
second
same.
row, yes.
I think the waterfall and the rocks on the far right are really fun.
Yeah, do you not really get them on the left then?
Yeah, I think you will, but probably not as much. So I'm not too sure, but yeah.
It's very forceful, there's definitely intensity to it, and it's such a compact, hidden layout. It was hard to film because I didn't really see anything, and on it, I had no idea where we were going. Yeah. Like, I think you'd have to be on the front to really get an idea about it. Yeah. I think I'd still prefer Nemesis, not that I'm here continuously comparing to Alton Towers, but I mean, that was the first invert in Europe, and obviously with the refresh and stuff, well, the re-track this year, it's gone back up into prime positioning.
Running really well.
I thought it was. Yeah. I did whack my head like 2 or 3 times.
But I think that was more just from the intensity and the lack of knowledge of the layout.
Yeah, probably. I held my head forward and it was much better then, but I thought it was decent. This area is lovely. However, I don't know if I've said, it's very busy. It's one of those where people are sat on the stairs eating and then you're hard to manoeuvre and get around people, so bit of an odd one. But to be fair, the other issue, that was 60 minutes advertised, took us 35.
Not bad.
So that's obviously a bonus, which means we've got a bit more time. So, Taron, there it goes. Taron, finally done. Yes, it's good to preface. Had a lot of chat about it though, haven't we?
Yeah.
So it's Detective Whitmore's number 1, whereas we've both done Velocicoaster and we think we prefer Velocicoaster.
Yes.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think Velocicoaster's just got more elements to it. I like the fact that it inverts. I like the top hat.
I think that's a lot faster and a lot whippier. And I think, I don't know, I feel like the first half of this just didn't quite make it in a way.
Yeah, and I think I was saying if it had like even a gentle inversion or like a slight top hat, it'd just make it a bit more like a full thing. Like because Velocicoaster's got so many elements, I think it's just tricky. Like I did enjoy this, like absolutely, and it's better than Icon, and it kind of gives me Hagrid vibes. It gives me Hagrid vibes. But
I think I prefer Hagrid.
I do prefer Hagrid.
Sorry.
The theming of the queue.
Yeah.
Like, I like the theming of the area here, but like the queue itself, it was just very cattle penny.
Yeah, it was a cattle pen, like separate to the rest of the ride, so you couldn't even really see it from where you were, which is frustrating.
So you lose the story in the queue, and like, but the area is really cool. I will give them that, and like the ride area, like.
Oh yeah, Klugheim is brilliant. I mean, there's tons of rock work around us. There's synced audio for that second launch, and that second launch is fantastic. But I think of Velocicoaster, and like you go into that top part, and you're just like breathless for a moment, and then boom, you're straight down.
Roll.
Yeah, the roll over the water, and like I just think that was a better experience overall, and a better coaster overall.
And the queuing, the theme in the queue is really good for Velocicoaster, but it's tricky for people who've done Velocicoaster, like to compare the two. But like this was a really good coaster, and I wouldn't discount that at all.
Absolutely. I feel like the general consensus is people who've done both prefer Velocicoaster, and people who haven't done both prefer this.
Yeah,
and by that I mean obviously if you'd done this you would like this. Of course you would.
If you point over to Josh, he hated Velocicoaster because he does not like inverted time. But he even said Velocicoaster was the better coaster, even though he hated it.
Yeah, which is that's saying something in it, I guess. So, oh sorry, my arm's aching. So yeah, it was probably wasn't worth 80 minutes. We all said we'd rather have the full experience of F.L.Y, but it was still a very good coaster. And to be fair, the double punch of F.L.Y and Taron is very good. And obviously they are the best rides in the park, for at least from what we've experienced today. And I think this also sort of falls into the territory of people saying it's my favourite, it's really good, and it becomes a bit overhyped. But at the same time, it just makes me think, yeah, Ainguazi was one of my favourites, and Zadra and Voltron. The sort of ferocity, constant thrills and speed, plus just a full sense of joy when I finished. That's kind of where I'm at. So it was good, but I'm starting to really learn what I like in a coaster, I think is what I'm saying from that.
Yeah, same.
So just for clarification, this is obviously Taron and the ride area, and I'm going to spin, and through here is a gigantic cattle pen, which is literally from this bit here all the way over to where that little doggo is. It kind of stretches right back there. So all of that is like 70 minutes of queue, and then there's 10 minutes down there. So yeah, a lot of effort that. So that is our day 1 done here at Phantasialand, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, it's been hella busy. It is a wonderfully themed park. It's got fantastical areas, some really creative theming, some superb rides as well. But with it being so small and it being a peak summer day for us here, it's just been so unbelievably busy. I mean, we knew it was going to be busy, but busy to the point of we can't move, there's people in the way, rides are closing, queues are so long, and it's just become a lot. It's not to say I wouldn't come back to this parking, because I definitely will. And obviously we're here tomorrow and there's more to experience, but it's kind of one of those first impressions where it's like, oh man, and you know, just a bit tiring. So I don't want to kind of have that shadowing the thoughts of the day. But my sort of initial reaction is I love the compact nature of it. But admittedly at the same time, that compact nature has hindered it today with it being so busy. I think of Europa the other week that we did, and that was, I mean, every coaster was like 45 minutes plus, and there's like 15 coasters, whereas here, queues are like 60 minutes plus for most things most of the day, and there's like what, 7 coasters, and even like some of the darks and flats were hitting like 45 to 60 minutes. It doesn't quite have the capacity. I know it's not as busy of a park as Europa. It's not a resort like Europa, but I just don't feel like it has the capacity, and I feel like another big major coaster is needed. But at the same time, I couldn't say where that should be because I'm pretty sure it's landlocked. You know, the park is very tight, very well crammed in, and that's why a lot of the coasters are so big on near misses. I mean, I think of Black Mamba, think of Taron and F.L.Y, and they're all very much twisty, turny, you've just missed this bit, you've just missed this bit, you've just missed this bit, and it's a common theme throughout the park because it's so tight. So, wonderful park, very well done. I'm excited to try tomorrow, but admittedly I'm aware we're probably not going to get to do everything we want to do because it's so busy and we have a shorter day tomorrow. So, lovely park. However, I'm going to pause this case here and we'll catch you tomorrow. So for myself, case on hold, we'll see you in the next one. Good night.